Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Mel's mad at me.
I'm furious.
Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club, the show where I get yelled at and it's fun for everyone to listen to.
The final episode, because this is the final straw. I opened the shared folder and I see a file titled Sorry. And I click it, and what do I see but Sonic the goddamn Hedgehog?
Play the theme song.
Blue streak speeds by Sonic the Hedgehog, too fast for the naked eye. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. Look out when he storms through. Sonic the Hedgehog, don't doubt what he can do. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
The worst Sonic! The very worst one!
Yeah, this is the worst one, isn't it? I don't know. Is this
It
worse than Sonic
stinks.
Underground?
Yes! Because you know what? Sonic Underground is so bad, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I hated this. This was the worst episode. This is worse than Donkey Kong Jr.
That is the problem with this show. It's that it's like, it's competently made enough that it's not funny, but it's boring.
Just boring. It's so boring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. I zoned out for probably 20 of the 22 minutes of this episode because it was so dull.
Yeah. So the episode we watched is called Ultrasonic, and immediately I'm like, these episodes, the titles don't tell you anything about what happens in the show.
I forgot that's what it was called. There was not a single ultrasonic.
Well, because every episode of this show is just like supersonic, hypersonic, ultrasonic, and none of them have anything to do with anything that happens.
No.
I remember when we watched... Wait, have we watched the episode that's called Supersonic? I don't even remember now.
I don't know.
But I've at least looked at what happens in it. I thought, oh, is this episode got Supersonic in it? No. Don't be silly.
Are we about to learn what ultrasonic is? No.
So this episode was written by David Villaire, who I forgot to look up. Let's do it live, shall we?
Sure.
He wrote 2 episodes of this show. He wrote for Godzilla and Godzuki.
Oh, I know. I know Godzuki.
He wrote for Dinky Dog, the all-new Popeye Hour, The Gary Coleman Show.
I forgot that existed.
So some real, like, stellar work here. The Mork and Mindy, Laverne and Shirley Fonz Hour. Remember that? We talked about that years ago.
Briefly, don't Laverne and Shirley like join
The army.
or something?
Yeah. Laverne and Shirley in the army. What's strange about that?
Nothing, I guess. Don't they have like a weird sidekick though that makes it especially strange?
I think the Fonz eventually joins the show. Does he count as a weird sidekick?
I have to look it up now. I feel like there was something really strange about it.
Was there like a talking
Is
dog
it this
or
little
something?
pig? There's a pig.
Oh, yes, right. There was a pig with like an army helmet. Why did they have a pig?
Very loud siren going on right now.
It's because of the pig.
Probably. They're coming to arrest him.
Coming to arrest you for looking up pig images.
I googled Laverne and Shirley join the army, and this pig is just ever present in like all of these pictures.
Do you think he's just visible in every shot?
I hope so. This appears to be a genie that they're talking to.
Yeah, it sounds like what happens in the army. I don't know what you think happens in the army, Mel.
Probably not that. Looks like one of them turns into a teen wolf.
Oh, yeah. This is all just classified army stuff.
That's what happens in boot camp.
Yeah, but they're not allowed to talk about it. That's why the show got cancelled.
Oh, that makes sense.
Anyway, David Villaire, thank you for writing Laverne and Shirley in the Army and Ultrasonic, which aired October 2nd, 1993. And, you know, this was one of the most memorable episodes of this show to me as a child.
That's wild.
Watching it again as an adult, I realized that I remembered one scene from this episode, and it was the final scene.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad, and I hated it.
There's really nothing that happens.
No, it takes like 7 minutes for a single interesting thing to happen.
At one point, I had to pause it to go away and do something, and I looked at the progress bar, and I thought I must have been like 3 minutes in because nothing had happened, but it was halfway done.
Yeah. And like even when action does start happening, it's so boring. It doesn't feel impactful. There's no stakes because they're never in any danger.
Right. So, right at the very beginning here, Sonic and Sally are breaking into Robotnik's, I don't know.
Mean Bean Machine.
Whatever it is. They're in the vents just kind of watching Snively work on the Roboticizer. I guess they're planning to shut it down. Sonic brought a mirror with him just to admire himself.
Yeah, and that scene takes like a minute.
Yeah, and that's... I mean, I guess that's this Sonic. In any other version of Sonic, he's not the kind of character who carries around a mirror to admire himself. So it felt like it came out of place, but I guess he's just like that in this show. Sally's just sort of unplugging wires in the vents, which is apparently affecting the Roboticizer somehow. And Robotnik calls Snively, in his only appearance in this episode, Robotnik calls Snively to warn him that the Roboticizer is in sabotage mode.
Snively, the Roboticizer is in sabotage mode.
I'll check it, sir.
I've set the Roboticizer to sabotage mode. It's your job to fix it, Snively.
Why does it have a sabotage mode?
I think that's just bad writing. Instead of saying somebody is sabotaging the Roboticizer.
Something's wrong with the Roboticizer. No. It's in sabotage mode. We included that.
I installed it, and then I pushed the button. No, it was not on purpose. Snively, fix it.
Why does it even have that mode? I don't... Anyway, then Snively turns on this, like, red spotlight that just... It seems like it just sort of searches Sonic and Sally out inside the vent. It just, like, slowly points up at the vent, and then it's like, oh, that's where they are. Why wouldn't you just have that on all the time?
The hedgehog seeking spotlight? I don't know.
So they have a funny little banter with Snively, which felt very laid back given the circumstances. Snively starts filling the vents with what I assumed was nerve gas, but apparently was just fire suppressant foam.
Right, which is so stupid. We're not going to injure them, but we need to flush them out.
Flush them out by annoying them. They won't want to stay in there when it's all slippery and foamy.
It'll start getting chilly soon.
So, and the foam ends up helping them because they just use it to break their fall when they drop from the vent.
Thanks, Snively.
Yeah. And then they jump on this, like, hover disc and fly away on it. It's not a well-designed thing. It looks kind of stupid.
It's so boring. We are 5 minutes into the episode.
Right. And yeah, this is like the most boring chase scene I've ever seen in my life. And also, it really feels like they had finished writing the chase scene, and then they realized the episode was too short, so they extended it. Did you notice that? Because they, like, get away. At one point, they get away, and then they're like, oh, good, we did it. But then they're just back in a chase again.
Like, I was so bored by this point. I was like, what is the story of this episode? What is happening? Where's the plot?
They gotta get to the rendezvous point, which is an old subway station.
For some reason.
Also, I don't know if you've noticed this, but as they're running down into the subway station, Kath Soucie slips into Phil from Rugrats as she's screaming.
I definitely noticed that, yeah.
Okay, good. I had to watch it again because I was like, who was just screaming? It sounded like Phil from Rugrats, and it was.
She and Chucky Finster were getting a little too cozy.
So they're watching worker bots being loaded onto a train. Sonic recognizes one as his Uncle Chuck. Uncle Chuck apparently named after Len Jensen's writing partner Chuck Menville, who had recently passed away at the time.
What a dubious honor.
I know.
Immortalized as this stupid robot hedgehog.
Hey, I do think that Uncle Chuck is probably the best thing about this episode.
You mean because he's crazy and put a ring machine inside a lake?
There's a lot of things. Uncle Chuck does where I'm like, okay, he's okay. You know, I'm probably being generous here. It seems like he may have been based on the Mark 1 Mecha Sonic from Sonic 2, the one that you fight on the Death Egg.
Mm-hmm.
On the one hand, he looks a lot like him. On the other hand, this show takes like almost nothing from the games, so it does kind of seem unlikely that the one thing that they draw from is like the second to last boss fight of the second game.
Yeah.
So it's probably a coincidence. They probably just wanted to draw a robot that looked like Sonic. But he looks a little
That's
bit.
100% what it is.
He looks a little bit like him, by coincidence or not. I do enjoy the fact that they were literally just like, how do we make Sonic an uncle? Put a big mustache on him.
Well, he has to look older than Sonic, and what says older like a mustache?
Yeah, that's the only... I mean, we only see him as a robot here, but in other episodes when you do see him as a not robot, he literally is just Sonic with a mustache and big bushy eyebrows. That's the whole thing.
Well, like, that's such a problem in general, when it's like, how do we make this character look older? Longer hair. That shows the time has passed.
Yeah. Anyway, they meet up with Rota, Bunny, and Antoine. Oh, so glad to see that Antoine made it into this episode.
Literally, why? All he does is annoy everybody.
Yeah. He doesn't even add anything. He does nothing in this whole episode. He's just here.
Yeah.
He's the only member of this crew who doesn't serve any function in the plan.
He's just here to be the worst. I was so excited when I thought Uncle Chuck just didn't acknowledge him.
Yeah, it did seem like that for a sec. So Chuck's train is heading to some place called the Crystal Mine that nobody's ever heard of.
Conveniently written on the side of the train.
Yeah, in glowing neon letters. So they hop on the train there too. Sonic tries to get to Chuck and he seems confused and surprised to learn that Chuck is a feral robot, even though he knows that this is what Robotnik does to people.
Because it's been happening since before this show started.
Yeah, it's been happening since they were children.
Right.
But for some reason, he's uniquely surprised. and
he's just uniquely stupid.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? What's going on? Don't you remember me? It's like, no, Sonic, this is how it works. Robo Chuck sounds the alarm and just kind of advances on Sonic, making feral ghoul noises.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that he was like spitting and hissing. Like he's a robot, not a cryptid.
Uncle Chuck, what are you doing?
Like, none of the other robots behave like this that we've seen.
Do you think that's just Uncle Chuck?
Do you think he's just malfunctioning?
You think it's just dementia?
He's not even a robot. He just looks like that.
Who are you? I don't have a nephew.
So Sonic's appeals to emotion don't work, but Bunny is strong enough to restrain Chuck. But Bunny, apparently, despite only being half robot, is stronger than a full robot.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Well, he's like a creaky old robot.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. They show Chuck one of the power rings that he apparently invented. I mean, we know this because we did research, but that's really just sort of thrown in there now, out of nowhere, with no further elaboration.
Right. It's just the magic of the rings.
I guess so. Yeah, he wasn't able to recognize Sonic, but he recognizes the rings that he made, and that snaps him out of it. Uncle Chuck is played by William Wyndham, who we talked about before because he played Cat in the first episode. Do you remember Cat?
Nope.
Cat was
Did Cat die?
Yeah, Cat was the old man in the cell who Sonic doesn't save in time.
Oh yeah. What a stupid show.
We also we saw William Wyndham during our Columbo time.
Who was he?
I don't
if
know.
Not Columbo.
He's in the first pilot that we watched. You know, they did like 2 pilot episodes before they made it a real show.
I remember the one.
Yeah, he was in one of them. He was in whichever one it was that ended with them like faking the suicide of the guy's girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
The one where Columbo didn't feel like Columbo yet.
Yeah, that was like the first one, I think.
Yeah, it was.
That was like heavily based off of the stage play or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, so Chuck knows all of Sonic's gang already. And you know, I did like the reunion with them scene. I thought the actors all sold that moment pretty well. Like, even though we barely know these characters, they got through the emotion of like, this is a bunch of teenagers seeing an adult they've been separated from for a long time.
Uncle Chuck! Yes! Man, I sure missed you.
I missed you too. Princess Sal, Rotor, Bunny. Oh, it's a real treat to see you again.
Welcome back, Charles.
How you doing, Chuck? Dr. Hedgehog! Bonjour!
Bonjour, Antoine.
The actors in this show are good. I mean, they're like big name Hollywood voice actors.
They're reputable voice actors.
Yeah.
I just don't like this show.
No. So Chuck says he can't leave yet because he needs Sonic help with something down in the mine. And immediately I thought they were going to go in the direction of like, Sonic immediately trusts Chuck in every way because it's his uncle. And I thought Sally was going to be like, what if he's leading us into a trap? What if this is a Robotnik plot? But no, nothing that interesting happens.
That's way too deep for this doo-doo show. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's way too much of a plot.
Yeah.
For what this show
There's
is.
too much happening.
Yeah. I was looking at it as though it was the TV show, is my problem.
Oh no, I was looking at it as though it were the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
This isn't the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. We like the
They're
Adventures
all the
of Sonic the
same.
Hedgehog. No.
I've said this before. The name is the same for every single one.
I won't have you... Every time we've watched the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, we've come away having a good time.
They're all the same name.
That's the Scratch and Grounder one. You like that one. You don't remember
You
it,
haven't-
but you like it.
You haven't convinced me that they're not the same show.
Okay. That's the one where coconuts chased them around in a big hot dog machine.
Isn't that no, the one where Sonic became Santa was like part of this, wasn't it?
No,
it was like a weird.
It was a weird in-between thing. It was its own
That's what I
standalone.
mean.
It was its own standalone movie, but
it took elements of this series too.
It took one element from this series, which was Sally Acorn.
Oh.
But everything else came from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, and this whole time I was watching it, I kept thinking about Big Sal, but I forgot where that had come from.
That's what it was, yeah, because he was talking about how he got a ring for Sal or something, or from Sal.
From Sal.
And because it wasn't very clear that it was tied to this show, we didn't know who Sal was until she showed up at the very end, I think. So we were just picturing some guy called Sal.
And then you made that comic about it.
And I made that comic about it. And then I read that comic again like 2 years later and I didn't remember who Sal was. So I was like, why did I draw this bald man?
Who's Big Sal?
See? That was a good time. We enjoyed that. But now we have to talk about this. So Chuck takes them to a giant energy crystal that Robotnik is mining to replace his dependence on oil, which sounds like a good thing, environmentally.
You'd think.
Like, when they first get to the mine, they talk about how Robotnik's pollution is, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
And now here he is trying to switch to clean energy, and they've come to stop him.
I have so many questions about this crystal because they're
Me
like, "Oh,
too.
if he takes the crystal, it's gonna upset the balance
Right.
of everything.
Yes.
The whole planet's gonna go."
Yes, if he takes the crystal, it's going to destroy the ecosystem. And then, like, 10 minutes later, he's like, destroy the crystal!
Oh my god! When their plan to unlatch the crystal fails, he's like, "Well, just smash it, I guess."
Better blow it up! What about the ecosystem? Fuck the ecosystem!
I have a giant dinosaur laser.
I've immediately gone mad with power.
I'm a robot now.
So Chuck gives them a plan. I was very surprised that Sonic's mirror actually came into play.
I didn't even realize. I was like, it's a cartoon. Of course he has a mirror. He can just pull one out of his butthole.
In this show, they call it a knothole. As a little joke for the fans of this show, who I'm sure are furious with us.
All two of them who aren't listening to this.
No, this is like the most popular of all the Sonic shows. I don't know why.
It's so bad.
I know. I will say, in fairness, I think the second season is a lot better than the first season.
Okay.
But, maybe we'll see someday if we ever get that far. Yeah, he uses that mirror he had earlier to, like, deflect some lasers. And I was like, wow, foreshadowing in this show? I don't think it was good. I don't think it was a good example of foreshadowing, but...
I feel like it wasn't, like, foreshadowing on purpose. They're writing the thing, and then they're like, well, if Sonic has a mirror, why does he have a mirror? Let's write a minute-long scene where he has a mirror and admires himself for some reason so that it makes sense in our cartoon TV show that he has one.
I would I think I'm being less generous than you are. I would actually say feel like it went the other way around. And they wrote that earlier scene where he checks himself out in the mirror. And then later on, they were like, hey, we wrote him with a mirror earlier, right? Let's have him use it.
No.
Because I feel like the earlier scene where he's admiring himself was actually more consequential to the plot than this later one, where he reflects a laser. Because he didn't have to do that.
No, especially the second time. That was just unnecessary.
Yes, Sonic, have some class. So Sonic's making a diversion, while Sally, Antoine, and Rota are sneaking in to shut down whatever the fuck. I don't know what's going on anymore. Then Sonic, Chuck, and Bunny, apparently the diversion done with, head down in the shaft to take on Dinobot, a planet-devouring machine.
It's not that big.
Chuck wants to come and do... Yeah, when he says planet-devouring machine, I was like... It's a small planet.
It's much less impressive than it sounds.
Yeah, well, this is definitely a case of, like, the writers writing something very impressive and then the animators being like, how do we draw that? So, Chuck wants to take over Dinobot and use it. Apparently, if you get eaten by Dinobot, you end up in the control room of it, which seems like really bad design.
Right. You fill Dinobot with Earth and it just destroys itself.
Well, not just that, but like its primary method of attacking seems to be to eat people. And then he's just giving them control of himself.
I have to stop doing this.
And Chuck just gets eaten in one bite. He's in there. He's done. But Sonic and Bunny spend a decent amount of time after being eaten trying to jam the jaws open for no real reason.
It was so stupid. Like, they know that they need to go inside the dinosaur the way Chuck did, but then they're still, like, refusing to go within the machine for, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and they jam even though they're in the mouth, they jam open the jaws and then go down the throat.
And then the jaw is unjammed anyway.
Yeah,
so
in
who
the next
cares?
scene, the jaw is fine. It's really stupid. Meanwhile, Sally, Rota, and Antoine are watching a robot operating the controls, just kind of walking around the room, pressing different buttons.
I have no idea what their role in this was.
No, not really. They had to press the button.
But why? What did it do?
It turned off the button. Machine.
But like, why did they need to be in this room with that robot turned off? What did they accomplish in this room?
They accomplished wasting at least 3 to 4 minutes of screen time. This robot was one of the few things in this episode that did interest me, because in the first few shots, it's actually really similar to the design of the early E100 robots from the Dreamcast Sonic games. But at some point, in between shots, its design changes and its chicken legs just become human knee legs.
Yeah, because they didn't know how to animate those chicken legs.
Yeah, they did pretty good for like 3 shots, and then it just changes.
Then it got a little more complicated.
Yeah.
It started swinging Rotor around.
That's true. There's an off switch on the back of its leg, because that's how things work.
A big glowing enemy crab weak spot.
So they turn it off after a brief struggle, a brief and stupid struggle. Because, like, Sally is right there, right next to the button, and then she doesn't press it for like half an hour. She waits until Rota's sweating real good. Because he's a diversion. He lets himself get grabbed so that Sally can press the button. And then right when he's about to get shot in the face, she finally presses it.
She whiffs it real hard, and then she doesn't try to recover until he's about to die.
So Robotnik starts to lift the crystal out. Chuck tries to cut the cables holding it on the crane, but a bunch of SWAT bots show up and restrain the Dinobot with just a million ropes.
And they keep firing more.
Yeah, they keep firing more for like 10 minutes.
The entire time that they're trying to cut the crystal, they're just firing more and more ropes.
We haven't been given any further commands. More ropes.
Cocoon it!
Basically. So with the Dinobot restrained, he can't cut the cables anymore with its... What was it, like a scorpion tail that it suddenly had?
Like pincers?
I don't know. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So with that out of action, he tries to use the Dinobot's laser cannon to destroy the crystal. And this is where I've written in my notes, despite saying earlier that removing the crystal would destroy the ecosystem.
Like, yeah, it would destroy the ecosystem, but also, how do you go from trying to cut the ropes, that fails, and then you go, instead of trying to cut the ropes with the laser, you just destroy the crystal with the laser?
Well, the crystal absorbs the laser anyway.
Right, but
so
like,
then
why
he does start shooting the cables with the laser.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's like, you could have done that first.
Right.
I think maybe this crystal just isn't quite as important as he said it was.
What he's gonna do is actually pick it up and sell it on the black market. He doesn't want Robotnik getting his hands on it.
So the SWAT bots are using more and more cables to tie down Dinobot. And for some reason, tying it down is making the cockpit shake like crazy. And did you notice when we get that shot of the cockpit shaking around for no reason, Uncle Chuck is like snarling and barking for no reason?
No, I did not notice that.
He's making those like feral ghoul noises that he was making in the beginning. And I don't know why.
Those are just his distress noises.
That does lend some credence to the theory that he's actually not, under any kind of control.
Like, yes, he's a robot, but his brain is just as it was when he wasn't.
Maybe that's what this whole plan's about. So at the last minute, they manage to cut the crystal loose and it falls back down into the cavern. I personally don't see any reason that Robotnik couldn't just get another crane and do it again.
Right.
There isn't any, like, burying of the crystal or destroying of the base down here that was built to excavate the crystal. They just broke a crane. It's probably not the only crane that Robotnik has.
The crystal also shatters a little bit. Like,
A little
does that
bit,
not
but I've...
hurt the ecosystem?
Yeah, but also, like, wouldn't that just make it easier to bring it up surface side? Because now he can just put it in the elevator,
Right.
piece by piece. He doesn't need the
I don't
giant.
know.
They've destroyed the giant crane, but he doesn't need it anymore because they've
Yeah, just get the SWAT bots to put it in some minecarts.
yeah they've made the crystal bite size. Anyway, they escape. I feel like this is a very common thread with this show in particular, where I'm like, why couldn't he just do that again? But he just doesn't, and it's fine.
Well, they foiled the plan. Guess it'll never work under any circumstances.
I know I've said it before, this is the most ineffectual Robotnik. He's the stupidest, least competent Robotnik across all versions of the character, including the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
And yet somehow he has a complete foothold on Mobius.
Because he's against the most ineffectual, incompetent Sonic across all versions of the character. That's why.
True.
Like, he is constantly stymied by this small group of teenagers living in a forest, and he can't find their base, and he hasn't thought to bulldoze the forest.
It's a Mesmeron issue.
That's exactly what it is.
I can't find that power pill forest.
But like, Robotnik was barely in this episode, even. That's another thing I don't like about this Robotnik. He's the most hands-off Robotnik, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... I feel like you could make the argument that there's also a lot of times with video game Robotnik where it's kind of like, why couldn't he just do that again? But with video game Robotnik, they've explained it in that he's just got ADHD. Like, Robotnik doesn't try the same thing again because he's now been distracted by a new idea that he's had.
Right, he's already building a new robot.
Yeah, but this Robotnik doesn't have any ideas. He just doesn't do anything. He just sits in his big chair petting his metal chicken and telling Snively that the Roboticizer's been set to sabotage mode again.
Is that a euphemism?
What did I say? Did I say metal
Petting
chicken?
his metal chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a euphemism. So yeah, they escape. But just as they reach the train, Chuck begins to relapse. This is the one scene that I remembered as a child, because this scene, I guess, disturbed me in a way when I was small. Like, how old was I when this show was airing? Like 7, maybe?
What a delicate baby child.
Well, there's no resolution. He, like, starts turning into a monster again, and they just have to leave him.
We've got to get you back to Knothole. Warp 7.
It's too late, Sonny.
Uncle Chuck? No way am I leaving you here.
Sonic, he's turned back.
You gotta come with me.
Sonic!
Yeah, but they promised to come back and fix him.
Yeah, but it's still pretty, like, disturbing for a child, especially when you've grown up with cartoons enough to know that that's probably never going to happen. Although it actually did in this case.
I was gonna say, doesn't it though?
Yeah, this is one of the rare cases of a 90s cartoon that actually had some continuity. Yeah, so as Bunny has to drag Sonic away. I think that's to me was the disturbing element of it, is that, like, Sonic didn't want to leave his dementia-ridden uncle, but he was dragged away from helping him. And also, like, the fact that Chuck starts helping the robots chasing them as well immediately. I was like, whoa, that's fucked up. That could be my uncle.
This show's so dark. It's so edgy and cool.
As they ride away on the train, Sally promises Sonic that someday they'll come back for him, which they do eventually. And she tells him she was able to steal some data from the Roboticizer, which she hopes will eventually lead to a reversal of the process. I can't remember if that happens over the course of the show or not. It's been a while. Maybe it does. But that's the end. That's how it ends. This episode was pretty terrible.
It was bad. I didn't like it.
If I'm being generous, I would say it has 1, maybe 2 good scenes in it. But this episode did contribute a lot to what people liked about this show, I think, which is, you know, having a depressing ending.
It was boring.
It was pretty boring. There's so much more they could have done that would have made it not boring.
That's what I was saying. There's no stakes. You never feel like anybody's in actual danger.
No, that's true.
Dull.
Yeah, there was no, like... I guess the crystal raising up made it time sensitive, but it never... Even when there was a time limit on them cutting it down, it never felt important that they did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There should have been more of a... I don't know. What would I have changed? Everything. I just would have put more story in here. I just would have had more things happen.
One thing has to happen. Just one.
Yeah, maybe Robotnik could have been there, shouting stuff.
Maybe.
He had one line, and it was the Roboticizer's in sabotage mode.
And it was the dumbest line.
It was the dumbest line of the whole episode. Oh, anyway. Have we said everything that we want to say about this?
We've said more than I've ever wanted to say about this show and this episode in particular.
Well,
no.
I'm afraid it's that time again.
No.
Where you need to ask me.
I won't.
But what about that legacy?
What's that? You'd like to know about the legacy?
No, not really.
But you just asked. I heard it so clearly in your normal voice.
Your normal all the time voice.
So Uncle Chuck went on to become a major character in the Archie Comics Sonic the Hedgehog comic series, right up until its cancellation in 2016.
Cancelled because of Uncle Chuck.
Yeah, well, actually, no, I guess not. I guess we can't blame him for that. When the comic got rebooted in 2013 to bring it closer in line with the games and to distance it from the work of Ken Penders, Uncle Chuck was no longer Sonic's uncle by blood. It was just like an honorary uncle because Sega didn't want Sonic to have family members.
Sonic has no family.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you think about it, it's pretty weird that all these different like licensees or licenses, I don't know, all these different people who just paid a license to use the character were like creating family members for him. It's pretty weird, really.
Not really.
You don't think?
Like, I understand where you're coming from, but like, you think of a character and you automatically assume they came from somewhere. They must have a family somewhere. Just because they've never been spoken about doesn't mean that they were grown in a test tube in Robotnik Labs.
Yeah, but if they don't already have one, it seems weird. Like, if I was working on, I don't know, give me a franchise.
No. You know what's weird? All these children with not a single family member.
I mean, if I was working on, like, a Mario thing, I wouldn't be like, you know what? I need to give Wario an uncle. Wario really needs, like, a sister. I don't know. I would feel like I was overstepping the mark if I did something like that.
Could be funny, though.
But, you know, they didn't have a problem with it back then. I guess it happened all the time in, like, Disney comics. That's how we got Uncle Scrooge. Although those were at least being made in-house at Disney, so I guess it's a bit different.
Now everybody's just so precious with their IP.
Yeah, that's true. I do think that companies are too precious with their IP, but I also think that a lot of that is because of Ken Penders, specifically.
We call that Pender's Law.
I mean, he made like 500 family members for Knuckles the Echidna, the last of his species.
Yeah, that one I will agree is bullshit because that is established in canon that he's the last Echidna.
Yeah. Yeah. There, that one was going too far. Anyway, also, Uncle Chuck appears in a single episode of Sonic Underground, kind of nonsensically.
Is he the baby that explodes?
No, you wish.
I do.
Don't worry, I'll let you watch that episode. No, he is Uncle Chuck. He's Sonic's Uncle Chuck, who owns a chili dog stand. And apparently that's who Sonic was left with. The other two were left with stranger parents who weren't even the same species as them. And Sonic was left with Uncle Chuck. I think he's supposed to be his real uncle. Although, I guess he doesn't seem like royalty. I don't know. We'll watch that one. We'll watch that one at some point. And I'll let you be the judge. It doesn't really make any
Judge,
sense to me.
jury, and executioner.
Yeah. I think we've had enough of this.
I've had more than enough, quite frankly.
You've had your fill and someone else's.
I've had several helpings of Bill.
Well, we've done it. Sonic the Hedgehog fans, we're sorry. Well, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Yeah.
This is what I expect.
Yeah, I figured. That's why I took it back real quick.
You inflicted this episode on me.
We had a good time, though, didn't we?
I guess.
We've been apart for a week.
I didn't have a good time. Yeah, you left me to my own devices.
Yeah, and what did you do? Did you cause any destruction? Did you get into the goldfish again?
Time. A little bit.
I put those in
Just a little bit.
I put those in a lockbox for a reason.
You can't keep me out of those. I've gnawed my way into worse.
Those goldfish crackers are supposed to last you the month.
Yeah? Well, they didn't. So you have to go buy me more.
Okay. Yeah, I've been away. That's why there was no episode last week. I realized that we probably should have said something in the previous episode about how there was going to be a gap week.
That's supposed to be your job.
I know, I completely forgot that it was so soon. But I was away for Pokemon at the Natural History Museum in London.
Pokemon aren't real.
My brother got me a ticket. You know, it was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the Japanese version of the event. It was really more of a gift shop than an actual exhibit. In the Japanese version of the event, they actually had like skeletons of all the fossil Pokemon, which I thought was what we were going to see at our version, but nope.
Couldn't fly him in.
Yeah, I guess so. But they had some displays. They had some... I put some photos from it in the Discord. So they had some displays and they had a lot of gift shop items, which I overspent on. And I had a good time just at the museum. The museum's great. That's my favorite museum in the world, the London Natural History Museum. But it was such a shame. I wish they had actually put... Because all of the Pokemon stuff was just relegated to this one room. Like the designated Pokemon room. It would have been so cool for them to have like a stamp rally or something throughout the whole museum. Because like we were going around looking at other stuff and they had a little, like what's it called? Pele's hair? The stuff that Alolan Diglett is based on. The like metallic hair that just grows out of the lava rocks in Hawaii. It would have been, you know, they could have put a little temporary sign next to that being like, this is what Alolan Diglett's based on.
No, they had to keep all the Pokemon nerds contained
and
away from the normies.
They had another part, it was nearby that actually. They had a display about the Japanese legends of the catfish that causes earthquakes. Could have had a little wish cache thing there.
Mazu-sama?
Yeah, that's the guy. That
giant unnamed catfish?
They had a whole display about that. They could have just stuck a Whiscash sign next to it. Could have been great. Natural History Museum, hire me to do your next Pokemon event. I'll make it better. I'll make it better than this one was. Anyway, should we wrap up? Should we get out of here?
Please. Now I'm looking at pictures of the giant catfish.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thank you, as always, to our Weird Freak Brigade, Mark Kelly, Jamie Core, Natalie No, and our Mesmeron, Eugene Lattig.
Sorry, I got distracted when I learned that the giant catfish in the Toho series appears in Antinomy of Common Flowers as a projectile.
Yeah, I figured something like that was going on.
Who Who's shooting a giant catfish?
Who is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know then. Maybe nobody is. Maybe you just avoid.
Maybe?
You just avoid him.
Maybe.
Anyway, I am Skull Pirate Mike. You can find me on Twitch. Oh wait, you can join the Weird Freak Brigade. I forgot about that part. If you head to patreon.com/SuperBreakfastFriendsClub. You can join at various tiers to get various things, like bonus episodes or outtakes from the show. Or if you're on a higher tier, you can yell at us until we do what you want.
Unless it's watch this show, because I will refuse.
You refuse to watch this show even for money?
How much money?
£10 a month? Or $10 a month? Something like that. I forget.
I guess I'd watch one episode for $10.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good ROI.
I'm Skull Pirate Mike. You can find me on twitch.tv/Skull Pirate Mike or on Blue Sky somewhere. I don't know what the exact address is, but it's something like with my name on it.
We're professionals.
I'm gonna try and post more on Instagram too. I did post, actually, you know what? I did post a bunch of pictures from that Pokemon Natural History Museum exhibit on Instagram. And maybe on Blue Sky too, I forget. I put it someplace.
It exists. I've seen it.
I think I said everything that I want to. And then some.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done.
Bye!
Thank God.
Tails wasn't in this episode.
No, I was thinking about that the whole time. They had Rotor here, but Tails just doesn't exist.
I know! This show has like 3 Tailses and none of them are Tails.